YBA Phoenix Fitness 24/7 basketball facility in Rockland, California. It's Bout That Life podcast with your host, Coach C.Collins and Coach MJ.
Get it started. 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Hey, how you doing? I'm Coach C.Collins. Normally Marcus here from GGT, but unfortunately he's out of town this weekend, so it's just me by myself. However, I'm not by myself because I got a guest here, and we'll get to that in a second. And this should be a really good, fun episode. I mean, I'm always optimistic about these episodes. Everybody's been really cool guests. I've been getting a good walk of life. Again, before we get into everything, if you feel so inclined, you're checking us out on YouTube, maybe hit that subscribe and like button. If you're listening to us, maybe hit the follow, leave a comment, leave a review. If not, don't, it's all good either way. Just enjoy it and leave some input if you feel like it, right? It's appreciated any other way. One small click for you, big help for us on this show. Let's get straight into it. Shout out to my sponsors, Dr. Dish, best shooting machine on the market. They have the Home Edition, the Rebel, the All-Star. Go ahead and check them out. It's that time of the season. High school's kicking in. So for you elementary kids, middle school kids, hey, step your game up, especially for you 8th graders. You're transitioning to high school soon. Mm-hmm. Hey, it's time to get those shots up, get your game right. And they have a multitude of options. Tell them About That Life sent you. They'll hook you up. Also, shout out to West Coast Legends. If you're looking for jerseys, sublimation, anything that has to do with apparel, T-shirts for events, things like that, go ahead, hit them up. All their links will obviously be in the description, and feel free to check them out. But let's move on to our guest. So this guest is family. I've literally watched this man grow up. He's watched me grow up. We have a lot of funny stories, a lot of fuckery on top of everything else that's happened. He's visiting from Portland. He also played, high level ball. We're gonna get all into that, and also is part of an organization called International Elite, an Adidas sponsor program out of Portland as well. I've sent a couple kids his way, and
grateful for that.
Appreciate that. And then I think they had I know they had overall a good positive experience. Met his coaches. We've all hung out. Just good brothers, good dudes. This is my little brother. I'm very proud of who he is and what he's done. He's here visiting. So we said, hey, you're here visiting, come jump on the show, say your story, right? Originally, we were supposed to have KP today. KP was just burnt out after coaching. He coached 12 games and coached against me in the championship. Unfortunately, beat me.
He did. Yeah, he got you.
That's hey, to be fair, that's only his second win. I've been beating him a lot more, but he won though.
We're talking about now. We're talking about now.
But no, it's shout out to you, KP. He should be coming back this Thursday. So we should have a good episode when he's here, because I know, and this is the director of Team Arsenal, for those who don't know, Team Arsenal in Northern California. So really look forward to having him too. But without further ado, let me introduce my guest, Webster Moreland.
Oh man!
Yeah, I said the government.
He said the real name. He said the real name.
How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Blessed and highly favored. When you rub your knees?
Yeah. That's
blessed and highly favored. God is good, ain't he?
If you guys can't tell, this is gonna be a funny episode. Pretty similar to when Lance was here, man. This should be pretty good.
Yeah, God is good, man.
So let's get straight into it. Let's talk about your history with hoop. Mm-hmm. You can go from high school up, your AAU programs. Obviously, if you did play AAU, your major 1 or 2 or whatever, whichever ones are. Just let the people know kind of your basketball background.
Man, it's been a journey. It's been a journey, man. My background was how it was so unconventional, man, and some of the steps that I took. Man, it is hot. Boy, you got that heat on.
My bad.
First of all, man, the setting in here, man, is amazing. The ambiance. You ever been into to your parents, soul parents, and these people from a diverse background? You go around, you got some some African figures in here. Everybody had that Black Panther.
Yeah, the Black Panther on the table. You like that?
Yeah, man, this is bringing me back.
And try to have the hoop on the walls. Or try to have the ambiance.
I'm surprised you don't have like the, what's the plastic that was on the couch?
Yeah. No, I didn't want it. I wanted the couch to be.
Yeah, I was surprised you ain't got it. But yeah, my basketball journey, man, has been crazy. Like I said, it was unconventional. Like when we was coming up, when I graduated in 2005, like the AAU wasn't hitting as much. It was more about going to camps, and you heard about the ABCD
of
camps,
course,
and all those superstar camps and those type of things. So it was more that than all these AAU programs, these dominant AAU programs and stuff. So the AAU wasn't really prominent. You played local, and that's what you did at the time, and for high school, which also I think hurt me when it comes to like that growth and that development. Yeah. And so like I think that's a part of why, I do take, coaching AAU a lot more serious, because it's like, if I would have, man, all I needed to do was play in one of these tournaments. Right. With my skill set, and that, when it comes to the dynamic of your household, and when it comes to the financial standpoint, it's like, all right, well, there is a team, in Oakland that you can go play for, but hey, you got to be at practice. Right. And I remember, when I forgot what the coach was that called my mom, it was like, you got to be at practice. And my mom was like, yeah, that ain't happening. Like, single mom, 5 kids. Man. So, again, it's just like, all right, well, let me concentrate in, honing my skills in high school and see where that takes me. So, high school, went to Vanden High School. Shout out to the Vikings, man. The program is definitely on fire now. Yeah,
shout out to Coach Holloway and everything. He has a tendency to send me his Vanden kids, so splash with him, man. Appreciate you, brother.
He's doing his thing, man.
They won state two years pre-COVID, right?
They didn't win state, but they've been the girls, which is my auntie and my uncle, Coach Allison and Coach Jake, which is my auntie and uncle. They won state about probably 4 years ago. Nice. Probably the biggest upset I ever seen in my life. Man, I've never. I'm telling you, this is going off, but I've never been so emotional in a basketball game until that state championship game. Wow. Like, cause my sister's on the team. Ariel was on the team, right? And they playing against Mater Dei. I'm telling you, I'm saying like 7 high major D1 players. You're going to Duke and Maryland and all this other stuff, right?
You're like, good luck.
I'm like, good luck. It's been a good journey. And for them to come back and win that state championship game, dude, I'm telling you, man, I had some thug tears. You got to keep it hard.
Thug tears. I feel it.
But yeah, shout out to Vanden. So that was where my journey was started, and I like to take credit, and people don't say it, but it's like, man, we wasn't really winning. Mm-hmm. Like, we wasn't going to playoffs and stuff like that, and we had some guys that was getting looked at, but man, we just couldn't get over the hump. Yeah. And so my senior year came, and we kind of changed the culture, and that's where it's funny because we end up having a good season, getting into playoffs. We haven't been to playoffs for like 5 years or so. Got the playoffs, and then we ran into Sac High first round.
That was what. Shout out to Matt, right? Matt Johnson.
That's my guy, man.
Matt Johnson. He's coaching at Sierra right now, but he wants to do the show too.
Yeah, Matt, you gotta bring Matt in, man. Look, dude, they boxing won me, man. I mean, I think they had like 8 or 9 D1 dudes on that team. I've never seen a team like that ever assembled.
They were the Avengers.
Yeah, like what the hell? Why were they playing Division III? There wasn't no open. You know how they got the open league and stuff now. I'm like, man, they needed to be in the open league. So, yeah, man, my journey it ended. But we got back, we got to playoffs, and then honestly, man, that changed the culture, because from there, since 2005, it's been like a pretty consistent showing. So self-proclaimed, I'm taking some love for the Vanden success. You know what I'm saying? I'm an old head.
You were the catalyst. You were part of that starting process.
My boy Tommy Higgins said this to me in college: the older you get, the better I was. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I remember that. The older you get, the better I was.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying? So that was my journey at Vanden. Definitely one of the top players in the area. one of the top players, in NorCal at the time. And so I got a lot of looks, obviously having grade problems and, not really understanding the educational piece behind it, being a student athlete. So the people that's listening to that.
Yeah, the kids too.
Kids,
because they listen to the show.
Yeah, being a student athlete is major, man. And I didn't understand it. I didn't really have, I didn't have that understanding, when I was in high school. You think you could just hoop, and then, me being a 2-star athlete,
right?
With basketball and track, you just think you can. I'm a hoop. I'm gonna do track. It's all gonna shake out, and it's all gonna work out.
Not how it works.
The case.
Yeah,
not the case, right? And so, all the people that was interested, no matter all conference, all county, all whatever, you barely got a 2.0, like you got to go JUCO route.
Yeah.
So that was the next step. So I accomplished pretty much all you could on the high school level. When it comes to individual accolades from basketball and track, and then went to Sac City.
Yeah.
Which I don't know why the hell I chose Sac City over some good reputable colleges. Right. But I think what really got over the hump is I did track. I love track for other reasons.
Right.
As a loyal, faithful man, husband, I did track for other reasons. But
of course.
I did it, but it was like still the track program at Sac City was like, one of the coaches I really was like, man, I was like, dude, I can, I want to go there. And so basketball, the basketball coach, obviously, I don't want to say nothing bad, but it was like, it probably wasn't the best experience for me.
Yeah.
Obviously, as well too.
Right. Coach Jones, Coach Andrew Jones.
Yeah. So that was a big, I think it was a big mistake on my part for my basketball journey, which cost me. It did cost me, having a decent freshman year and then being highly scouted going into my sophomore year from JUCO, end up having fall out of love my sophomore year and quitting.
Yeah.
Which obviously you get blackballed and the scholarships and everything else. You don't, the people that was talking to you ain't talking to you no more. The letters, you got all these damn letters, and then you see yourself in a situation you're like, man, what the hell? Like, was it worth it? And as I look back at 34 years old, me at 18 or 19, and I'm like, I stayed insane. I'm like, dude, it was not worth it.
Right.
But you think you know everything.
Right, of course.
At 19, I know it all. You know what I'm saying?
Funny how that works, right?
Very funny. Humbling experience. So I end up going to Chico State for track and basketball. Some people know this. Right before I left, I broke my leg on some straight bullshit.
Yeah, I remember that story.
So right before I was supposed to go play the second semester, and broke my leg, in a situation I shouldn't have been in. But and that actually, so it held me from playing. So I didn't play my sophomore year because I quit, and then I'm out a year and a half for my, on IR essentially until my leg got better. Right when I was supposed to play at Chico, they made coach changes, and you know how that go. They bring people in, and,
and they recruit over you.
Yeah,
and all
you know
that
how
stuff.
it go, man. And so, because I haven't really, I still technically haven't showed how, my abilities, what I could do.
Mm-hmm.
So I end up leaving Chico, and that's where I went to Portland. It's kind of like I'm kind of like a modern day Will Smith. Modern day Will Smith there, where it's like, you get in one little fight, your mom got scared.
Yeah.
You're moving with your uncle in Portland.
In Oregon.
So everybody's like, man, how the hell you end up in Portland?
Right.
Man? My uncle's out there, and he was a big basketball dude as well too. And so, there was some schools that he was like, man, I want you to look at these. I know they're kind of a smaller schools or whatever. It was like 5 schools on the list.
Yeah.
I think the biggest school was a D1 called Gardner-Webb, which I don't know if you guys remember a guy named Michael Lee. He was you might remember this because you're a basketball head.
Yeah.
The Syracuse versus Kansas game. Last shot, Hakeem Ward.
Oh, yeah.
Blocked the kid in the corner.
Yeah.
That was Michael Lee.
Oh.
yeah, that was Michael
I do remember
Lee.
that. I did not.
So
wow,
that's Michael
I didn't know
Lee.
his name.
So
but.
my uncle, my uncle coached him growing up, and Coach Lee coached my uncle. Mm-hmm. So it was a strong connection, right? And you know, so it was like Gardner Webb, and it was like some other mid majors, and then it was some D2s and some NAIs. And I didn't really know what NAI was, and I went to this school called Warner Pacific for a visit, just because it was right up the street from my uncle's house.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really know much about it. I started doing a little research on them, and I was like, man, you know, this team. I was like, man, you know, a lot of dudes is going overseas, and you know, they had the psychology degree, so all my stuff, you know, transferred over.
Yeah.
Man, I went into that gym. I thought it was a practice gym. I'm like, dude, this ain't. You know, I'm like, dude, this ain't.
It's not what you're used to.
This can't be the gym. You know, going from Sac City and you know, at Chico, you know what I'm saying? So it's bigger schools, you know, multiple gyms and stuff like that. So you're like, man, this can't be it. It's like this Christian school. You know, people floating around there, singing. You know, like, you know, you got to go to chapel. I'm like,
right, chapel.
I don't know what, Chris. I can't tell you what the hell made me say, like, man, I'm not gonna even go visit no other schools.
Like, this is a school for you.
I was like, man, I'm gonna be here.
Rock this.
You know,
out.
my uncle was up the street. You know, obviously coming from a single household. You know, I ain't really had no real. You know, I got my uncles out here and family. You know how I go.
Yeah.
But it was like, man, just like somebody that can be constantly. My uncle out, if y'all know him, man, my uncle out in Portland is tough, man. He nails. Just to have somebody a little bit more abrasive and holding you accountable, because it was like, you know, reality hit, man. It's like, you about to be a man.
Yeah.
You know, I was a man and was growing. And so I ended up going to Warner Pacific, man, you know, and dude, the rest was history, man. Had 2 hell of a years, accomplished everything you can on that level. And technically I could have probably asked for a year back, because I didn't play enough games my sophomore year, so I could have got another year, but it was like, what else the hell are you accomplished?
Right.
You know, so all-league, All-American on both sports. So all-league, All-American for track and basketball. So, I mean, it was, you know, it was a good experience. Got my degree. Shout out to the student athletes, which is most important.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and from that, obviously, you know, when you get out of school and you kind of accomplish those things, you know, you're going to get people, you know, you get agents hitting you up and teams that's interested in all these camps, and you pay this, or they, you know, G League tryouts and all this stuff comes up.
Yep.
You know, so I flirted with a couple things, and the G League, I had a good G League tryout, and, you know, some politic type stuff, you know, like it always is. You know, I think they had drafted, I think Nolan Smith was doing some, you know, from Duke. He was bouncing back and forth, and so it was like, he's doing the trials with us too. I'm like, why the hell from Duke? Why he's here? You know
right.
So, you know, we did some stuff, but again, it did enough for me to, you know, to market myself and get an agent. And so I went overseas and I played in Germany on a 3rd level. Mm-hmm. You know, when you come from NAI, it's a grind. You know what I'm saying? You got to start on somewhere. So, you know, to get in Europe, to get to Germany, which is, you know, people want to get there, you know, because BBL, the top league in Germany, is one of the top, you know, European, you know, countries to play in for basketball.
And people need to understand that it's not all glamorous.
It's not.
You know what I mean?
It's not.
It's not all glamorous.
It was a good experience. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, so I get to Germany. I played my first year Kiel. Great experience. You know, I mean, it's not – people are like, man, you didn't make that much money. Shit. We was surviving off financial aid.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was like, you know – so it was like, dude, oh man, you gonna pay for my apartment? You're gonna give me
flight
a check,
home, flight there,
and
flight home. I get paid to play basketball, and if you want to do something extra, you can do something extra.
And see, my gig too, which was sweet, you know, which was part of my contract. I was able to work at a school, so I was doing the. I told you I was doing the English. I was an English teacher.
So you basically collecting 2 checks.
Yeah, I'm English teacher in PE. You know, I don't know what the hell they saying to me. Go run. Auf Wiedersehen. Wie geht's. You know, simple shit, right? So the experience was crazy. So I always tell people, and yeah, I was able to bring back bread in my pocket, which actually helped me in life, honestly, when we talking about the next step for financials and shit. But yeah, man, so it's like, so I, you know, at that point, I was going to go back. We kind of had it planned out, which I was going to say, let's see how far hoop takes us. Let's see what 5 years. That was the plan, 5-year plan, and kind of see where it takes us. You know, unfortunately, you know, I got this beautiful thing, which is my world named Layla Ann Moreland. which, you know,
My niece.
Yeah, which my wife got pregnant and, you know, making the money that they was offering, you know,
Said, nah.
For a family of 3 now,
Yeah.
you know, you have to make some decisions. You had to make some hard decisions. And people was like, oh, you could have grinded it out. Yeah, but it's like I educated myself. I understood I was more than basketball. I felt like I had maxed out what I got the most out of my experience, right? From it. And I felt like it was a good time to, you know, not put the shoes up on that life and just kind of focus on the different, you know, focus on my family. So, yeah, man, that was the lane, man. That's a long-winded way to say it was an unconventional, crazy journey. But man, I did it, and that's not even all the in between of the high level.
Yeah,
you know,
we can't break
program.
everything. We can't break everything.
You can't get it all, man. Y'all can't get it all.
But I
man.
wanted them. At least they got a good.
Don't want people sliding in your DMs, you know, for some shit I'm saying. You know.
Trust me, I catch enough shit.
Yeah,
I'm all right with it. I'm all right.
Yeah. So, but yeah, man, that was a journey, man. That was a journey.
All right. Oh, in case you guys are checking out on YouTube or watching, he has his son here. Little Malachi, he's here chilling with us and stuff. So you know he'll probably say a few words at the end of the show. Him. But if you hear a little kid in the background, that's why we ain't kidnapping nobody.
Yeah, that's YouTube kids. Man. You know, put that YouTube kids on them, boy. That's the babysitter right
exactly,
there.
Exactly right. So then let's get right to AAU. Right. Let's fast forward. You know, you're coaching it now.
Yeah.
You're working with Nate. Shout out to Nate. We going Nate Brown. We going
Nate Bowie and Alan Brown. Shout out, man, to my boys, my peoples, man, my brothers.
We're definitely gonna talk about that some more. But overall, with I just want to always ask this question. It's always pretty much my lead thing. You know, take your experience, what you've seen with basketball.
Yeah.
Take some of your experience with what you've been dealing with AAU so far. And you know, we talk about it all the time. But just give me a quick summary for yourself and the listeners. You know, what is AAU? What do you see? The good, the bads? You know, like what's your overall summary of it?
Man, you know, being what, 4 years in now, I think?
Yeah.
Man, you know, I ran from that coaching.
Yeah, I know. You didn't want to coach for a while.
Nate hoodwinked me, boy. Nate did the coldest move.
Well, to be fair, every time I came to Portland, right, because for people that don't know, every time Portland has the President's Day tournament, it's either a Nike Gym Rats, right, or the Adidas.
Yep.
And I usually alternate, me personally, I usually alternate each one, but it's always really cool because it was always kind of our thing because I knew I could come there, stay with him. Say what's up to the kids and the family, and he could come to my games, and you ended up building relationships with those kids and those families, and he's very engaged when he's at the game. Like he can't just sit there and just sit there like, nah. He's
cut somebody out.
He gonna start coaching.
You gotta cut somebody out. That's standard. This standard practice.
So he gonna start coaching at some point. You know what I'm saying? So it's it was always there a little bit.
Yeah, the bug. Yeah, you definitely, because I mean, since we've been young, man, you know, just in like when you was coaching like the little rec teams, and I always come in and do something. There was always the bug. This is no surprise for where I see you, because I've always, you know, this has always been you since our existence, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, it was never something I thought about, and you gave me the passion and the love for it, and then being with Brown and Bowie, they actually like honed in, because they are real coaches. Like these dudes, Nate Bowie is the head coach for Mount Hood Community College, one of the better colleges in JUCOs in the Northwest, and Alan Brown is the head assistant coach to probably the top team. I would say top 3 team in the Northwest. So it's like at Lower Columbia. So, you know, you young men, if you got a guy named Alan Brown, and he's from Sac, calling you up, man, y'all need to listen, because he's pushing kids out.
Nice. Nate
Bowie is pushing kids out from their schools, and so, you know, if the grades ain't right, and you want to fake like you got you a little scholarship, you know what I'm saying? Right. Yeah, I'm about to go to Oregon. You ain't gotta know all the details.
Yeah, exactly,
you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So like, y'all need to. Hey, these are dudes that y'all really need to hit up. But yeah, man, my experience has been. I say all that to say, yeah, man, it's like from you and from Brown and Nate. You know, I do credit y'all a lot for just my love of coaching now. Man, it's crazy how much I'm like, man, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I really do. And just getting better with the X's and O's too, which is crazy.
It keeps you a part of the game.
Yeah. the good experience, man, for us is that you're seeing the development of these kids. You're giving them opportunity. You're giving them a different outlet. Just like for us, it was a way to express ourselves. It's art. It was a way to express ourselves. So you see that with these kids, and as you grow with them, it's just something that you can say, hey, I was a part of that journey.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I was a part of that journey, which is dope, right?
I think you see it now. I mean, not to cut you off, but I'm just saying, like, you see it now. Like, you think of the kids that, what's up? The phone died?
It died?
No? Oh, you just taking a break?
What?
Oh.
It's on, bro.
There you go. You
Press
got it.
Sit on down, man.
Sailor
beanie on.
No, what I was saying is, like, you fast forward now, think of like Jaden Hurtado and Matt and Jemias and those guys. They're juniors now. You know what I mean? You watched
I've been
them,
a part of that whole journey.
Yeah, you watched them like grow, and then even before that with Keandre.
Yeah,
and Malia, you know what I mean?
That's
like,
crazy.
Yeah, I know, right?
Time
like,
go by fast, man.
and you realize, like, even the minute you were just, in Portland hanging out with them and talking to them, it impacts
and it's
them.
crazy because, when we see each other at these tournaments, right?
Yeah,
We're traveling,
Yeah.
and I see, like, them dudes, and it's just so much love.
Right.
It's like you said, it wasn't even long interactions. Right, but me, talking shit, trying to help them. But I always was a sideline coach, too, so I'm always gonna give you some game, because I do have a understanding of the game. Anyways, what are you doing? No, you sitting over there. You sitting over there, man.
Well, you wanna,
hey,
he just trying to take the. You just want to take the show over, don't you?
What's wrong?
Well, you want to sit by Dad? Okay.
Just play it. Get you another Starburst, man. Chill back. I'm like, you get in your bag right now, man. Starburst and Gatorade, you chilling. But yeah, man. So it is that's the good part of it, right? That journey, those experiences, those the interaction with the the good parents,
right.
Emphasize on that, right? Because for some reason, your ass to be so tough. I'm trying to keep my words right. The parents that you have, man, you always got a good group of parents, man.
Yeah, man.
I always enjoyed that, man.
I do. I really do.
Every time, man. So that shows a lot about you, the program. You got a good group of parents. So that is the cool part for me, right? That makes it fun. That gives you purpose. We not getting rich off of this.
No.
That's what everybody, I want y'all to hear. We not getting rich off of this, right? We lose more money than we make, right? And we do it for a lot of love. And we got to do so many different ancillary things to even try to make whole, right? To even break even, at sometimes. But when you talking about all the little things, you buying food, gas,
the travel,
the
hotels.
It was like, and if we throw all that money into like the overall number for your program, then it's this exuberant cost where you can't have a program.
Right.
So it's pick your poison type deal, right? So we do it. We all are passionate about it, right? We find other different type of ways to provide for ours and and for others. But so that's the good part, right? The bad part is when you have everybody wants a Steph Curry.
LeBron James.
LeBron James, LeBron James is 6'8", 6'9", 250. He's an anomaly.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant is an anomaly.
He's a 7 foot, unbelievable scorer.
Yeah. Your son, your daughter. Come on, man. Let's keep the experience right for them, right? And don't make it about you. And then I look at, you look at the parents too. I'm looking at your mom and your dad. You didn't never hoop. You know what I'm saying? So why are you trying to make this dude a hooper or this young lady a hooper when you don't got an athletic bone in your body? You tripped to get out the car.
Okay, but it's like, okay, even if you want to do that, trust me to do my job.
Just trust me, man.
Like,
trust me.
Sit the fuck back and don't.
Just chill, man.
Right?
Like, and that's the bad part of it, right? And we've been getting, in our program, like, Nate, Kansas City from the hood, and so he's in, and we all educated. So we joke, all of us is educated, bachelor degrees up,
Hardworking brothers.
Hardworking brothers. We all got 9 to 5s.
And Nate has a legit hoop background.
Yeah, legit.
Whenever you get on the show, we'll talk. You can break all that down. But
legit.
Nate has a legit hoop background.
Legit. You know, Brown's coaching experience. I mean, Brown was a good college athlete, peer point guard. You know, so you got a legit coaching staff, right, and directors that it's like we are more than qualified to do what we do, right? And so trusting the process for us, right? Trusting the process. And so that's the bad part of it. That is the bad part of it when you just have these, you know, irrational parents sometimes that make the game very difficult, and they're living vicariously. Let me just say that, vicariously through their children.
Do you think it's a combination? Just curious your thoughts on it, because so one thing, you guys who've been listening on a steady thing, and I'm talking to you guys and you know, talking to you guys on the screen, if you're watching on YouTube or if you're listening, you have to have been hearing these recurring themes from these coaches and directors and players I have. At some point, you got to recognize, even the vice president Lowe of the Oakland Soldiers, which is our only EYBL club in Northern California, said on the show, is these punk ass parents. So parents, if you're listening or checking this out, you really need to maybe sit back and check yourself.
Reevaluate yourself.
Right.
Just reevaluate yourself, man. And for me, I think it's important, man. You know, me being a father, right, of many. Of many. Emphasize that.
Right.
But being a father, man, is like you have to really truly understand who your children are. If you're really intimate with your children, man, you know, then you can actually really see them for who they are and make sure the biggest thing in this point is that they have a good experience. Yeah. Right? They have a good experience. And also understanding a sense of loyalty too in dealing with adversity. Yeah. Right? Like this, people think, okay, because you paid a little money for a program, that service is like a restaurant.
And that's what I was going to say. I believe it's because of the financial component. They're like I always have to remind parents in our club, and you know how big all this is. I tell them, when you're paying the YBA fees or whatever, you're paying for tournaments, you're paying for jersey, and you're paying for practice. You're not paying for playing time. That's a rec league. They pay for everyone's guaranteed X amount of time.
We have a false sense of what service is, right? You know what I'm saying? Right. You know, it's not a restaurant. Now, at a restaurant, if I pay $20 and I want a burger, a nice burger with the egg on it and stuff, right? Some honey mustard. That's me. That's my lane. Some honey mustard. Right. I want to dip dip some fries and honey mustard. Right. And it doesn't come out right. Because I get to say, hey, I want this done right. You know what I'm saying? Right. But they think AAU is a restaurant. Right. No, you're paying for a service. But like you said, you're not paying for playing time. Now, if I am not developing, right, and I'm not doing these things, you don't see the growth in your child and all these other stuff. But playing time, you can't associate playing time with their development and growth. It depends on the level of the child.
There's so many variables to it. And that's what.
Don't let me, we get into it.
Yeah, I know. We could talk about this for hours.
Man, for real. And parents hear that, man. That's real stuff, man. It's not, man, we not out here to try to hurt your kid. You know what I'm saying? We not in we in the business of development and growth. This is what we're in the business of. Basketball is just a conduit to that. Right? It's just a conduit. I'm talking to you right now. And it's let me get a towel. Where is it? Start preaching. right. I said now. A conduit.
That's what it's supposed to be, bro.
Man, it is, man. It's real. It's some real shit, man.
And there's the outliers. Of course, there's guys in it for, let's say, very low character reasons, right? They want to get money, or it's about trophies, or it's about it's there. It's there.
But let me say this. Parents, you also have to use this thing that we all have, and I don't care what religion, what you believe in, we have discernment. We all have good discernment, right? So you have, just as much as you care about your kid and you want the best for them, you have to use good discernment to make sure they're in the right situation, right? Come on, man. Focus on me on me. I need the camera right in my face, right on the forehead.
Yeah, right
discernment.
there.
Y'all look that up, man.
Right.
Like that's real. Like you know, yeah, there are some bozos out here.
Yeah.
Chris, how many times, man? I've been around for a long time with you in this journey. We just seen a lot of programs.
Exactly. Come and then Thanos fucking comes and gone.
Like, well, hey, damn,
What happened
homie.
yeah.
In high school, you was the man, homie. 50 said that, right?
Yeah, I'm telling
you. Know what I'm saying?
No,
so it's like,
seen it.
you got to understand this, man. Everything that glitters is not gold. You know, YBA consistency, right?
Well, you know, yeah, and like we talked about the other day, that's a big thing, consistency.
Big,
you know why every year you see my ass in Portland and you see
consistent.
The product
they know, we know what we getting. These kids that are hopping around and boom, you know, that's just bad. It's just bad for basketball. No, look, yet another kid that's in here, another kid will put more hours in, and so now he's fighting for that spot, right? That doesn't mean you go run to the next program.
Yeah.
What's going to happen in college, right? You talking about everybody when you go to college, Chris, you know that everybody's all league, bro.
Right, I know.
Everybody, all county.
Everybody has a background.
Yeah, everybody got a background. So what happens when you go to, you going to keep hopping? I know a young fella, man, went to like 5 schools.
Yeah.
I'm like,
well, it's happening in high school. That's how crazy it is.
That's what I'm saying. And it's just like, but what is the culture, this is the AAU culture has produced that.
And it all starts with the parents. Like I talked about it. So just this weekend, I'm doing a new thing, kind of new segment. I want to mic coaches up.
Yeah.
So I was the first test subject because we wanted to see, you know, just how it goes and things like that. And I talked about that. So what we're trying to do is we're going to do, you know, we do like a pregame or whatever and talk to the coach for a few minutes. And I said on there, you know, parents aren't willing to let their kids go through adversity. They're not willing to let them take that L and work their way up. It's like, yes, as much as you're competing with the other team, you're still competing with guys on your team as well. Mm-hmm. If you don't like the fact that you're not a starter or you're the 9th, 10th, 11th guy and you're not getting as many minutes as you would like, parents aren't willing to let them work to go through that. They just get mad and say, well, we're taking our ball and leaving, and then we're going to go to this other program, pop elite on their jersey, and they're elite. Yeah.
And the part of the service, again, going back to what the fee is developing and growth. So come to me, why? Okay, these are the things he has to develop. Little Johnny, right, needs to do these things. Mm-hmm. Because Deontay, Johnny and Deontay, is doing these things, right? You know what I'm saying? And it's just like you start seeing these things. It's like, okay, work on that. Because look, man, I'm going to tell y'all, man, I was a good basketball player. But, you know, you had to say, okay, dude, basketball wasn't going to do, you know, I could do so much, Chris.
Right.
I could only do so much, right? And so you have to understand who you really are, too.
Yeah.
Dude, if I can get to college and I'm coming out with no debt or a little bit of debt, you know, say everybody want to take out a little bit extra money. You know what I mean? Take out a little extra money.
Right, get a little extra
I need to hit the club.
Little extra.
Yeah, I gotta do something, right? You know what I'm saying? I want some FUBU jeans. Right. I want some Jabot jeans.
Some Jabots. Yeah, we all remember the Jabots.
You know, I wanted some Jabots. You know, but again, if you get to go to college and you get your education, right? You get your education debt free, right? Yeah. Or minimal debt.
And you're building those relationships, the network.
Because people don't understand. People don't talk about the network stuff. But I'm saying you get all those things. You won.
Yes.
Man, F overseas, F the NBA. That shit is hard to get to.
Yeah.
It's not easy. It's not easy. And when you get to it, it's not easy to go be wealthy and say, I ain't never got to work. I know a lot of dudes has been hooping.
Yeah.
I mean, I got a couple dudes that work for me now that was in the league. Right?
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was in the league. You know what I'm saying? Running back. Like that work for me now.
Yeah.
Right? And those are, you know, you have to be able to have that option. It's not, you know what I'm saying? So I think we just do these kids and the parents, you do them a disservice when you don't be real and transparent with them.
Or at least stick them with a coach that's going to make them accountable and work.
That's it, man.
Like, you know, and like you said, parents have to distinguish who's in it and who's legit. Like, yes, you have to use the judgment. Like, you have to, you know, and what I find is parents with basketball background or even sports background typically are some of the best parents to deal with because they understand. They really do. Like, hey, you got to work. You know what I mean? Like, I know when our kids get older, I know, like, I'm going to train my son and teach him and, how to play basketball. But at the end of the day, I want other coaches. I want to hear other voices. And it's like, if he comes to me after a game, let's say he's, 12 years old, whatever, comes after a game, and I'm not playing a lot, Dad. Like the coach, I was like, don't ask me. Your coach is over there. Go talk to him. Go ask him. Like, say to him, like, what can I do better?
But see, Chris, also too, as a basketball player, I know if it's a bozo coach.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know if it's a bozo coach,
Right.
and I see bozo players.
Yeah.
Right, in a bozo program. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Right, because we understand,
Yes.
like, I can ask enough questions. I can do enough research because I want to make sure my child is in the best situation.
Yep.
Right? I'm telling you, just going back to it, that Sac High team, I told you it was 91 players. You think everybody played?
No.
You see what I'm saying?
Of course not.
You see what I'm saying? So that ninth guy was still a Division I player.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So, like, dude, like, you have to be able to understand these things,
There's
right?
levels to this shit.
It's levels, right? It's levels and it's time and it's patience, right? And there's a grind to it, right? And so, once you get to those things and have that understanding, and these parents can have that understanding, I guarantee you AAU will be so much smoother.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like we was talking about the last night.
What?
Okay, you got 15. You got 15 guys on your roster.
Right.
Started at the beginning, and this is how you're going to end your season.
Yep.
You can't play.
You can't transfer.
You can't be transferring and hopping around.
Unless it's an egregious reason.
Because I want to make sure you bozo coaches don't get to do bozo stuff. You bozo parents don't get to do bozo stuff. You know what I'm saying? These bozo players don't get. You know what I'm saying? Let's hold people accountable. Hey, and grind it out. Develop.
Okay. Well, then, I'll ask you like one or two more questions.
That's my AAU experience.
Well, yeah, there you go. Before we hop into NBA stuff, right? NBA topics.
Yeah.
So let me see. I want to make sure I frame this right. So your program being an Adidas program, seeing the gauntlet, right? Because again, some of my viewers and listeners, they're learning, right? They listen to the episodes and they're learning. And I've explained how the top, there's Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour, and how they're running their thing and all that. You guys being an Adidas program, seeing the gauntlets, seeing some tough competition, high levels, college coaches, getting your guys out of your program, getting them looked at by colleges, having good athletes, parents, whatnot. What when you think of these shoe companies and what they're doing and the platforms they've created, right? What is your reflection on all of this? Like, what is your reflection on these top levels and these circuits and things like that?
I think it ties into what we were saying. It's like, man, you're failing a lot of kids, right? These shoe programs, I think they're failing a lot of children, which is sad to see, right? And obviously now as this $1 billion industry, there is, people, these shoe companies are making a lot of money for it. Now, for the right reasons, because if we come in here, say Malachi, baby Klay Thompson,
right?
Say he comes in, he's 6'7", he's 16 years old, very elite player.
Yeah.
You see these things, right? Okay, we can push, as brothers, right, and coaches, we can push him differently, right, in a different direction to make sure he's in those programs. But it's like everybody's not that. Right.
Yes.
And so these shoe companies, it's like all these kids get so caught up in these backpacks and socks.
Yeah, they want gear.
And
it's always a thing. It's a weird
what I'm
thing.
saying?
I want some shoes. Doesn't your mom buy you some
We
damn
see
shoes?
so many situations where it's like, man, that kid would have really benefited just playing with us.
Yeah.
Right. This kid would have really been highlighted just the right way, just playing with us if he just, if the parent, but it's like they want a backpack and some socks. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that's where my issue is with the shoe contract stuff, because you do see a lot of I see it from the elite top level where it's like, okay, well, this gives a platform for these kids.
Yeah.
Adidas wants to push this money in.
Well, because EYBL is I mean, that's a whole nother.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother.
Yeah,
thing,
man.
you know.
And I saw, how I look at it, man, is like, man, there is a lot of good that can come from it, but do you see a lot of the BS, man?
Yeah.
You see a lot of the BS in the games and the gimmicks. When we was doing the silver, it was like the silver gauntlet, like they was hyping it up, and man, we playing in faraway gyms at a point in time. We're like, oh man, this is kind of cold.
Yeah. On this show, I've kind of called that shit out.
Yeah.
I don't think Adidas is ever going to hear me, but I called that shit out. Like your silver gauntlet, just feels like a cash grab. It's just a way to get money,
and that's where it's like, man, you that's the part that really kind of pisses you off about it, and then as you kind of move up, and then you see there are more benefits and getting to the to top levels and stuff like that.
But you got to work your way there.
You do, and it's like, okay, there is that journey of you do got to start at a certain level to work up, but then it's like there is so much the BS that's wrapped into it that you just gotta you gotta navigate through.
All right.
And so that's my reflection of it. I wish I think things could be a little bit smoother when it comes to more transparent.
Right.
I guess because at the end of the day, man, we don't want to sell. We don't want to sell no damn dreams to these kids as well too, and then we look like some damn fools to our programs as well. So we want to be transparent. So let us know where we at.
Right.
So yeah.
All right, fair enough. And then before we talk NBA stuff, so all right, we broke down your AAU club, International Elite.
Yep.
The coaches, the players, are not players per se, but like the type of players you have, and the way it functions, everything like that, and your take on a lot of it. Mm-hmm. And we spoke to the parents. That's for sure. We spoke to the parents. What words would you have for kids or some of these athletes that are listening to you? Right now that might be tuning in. Because I know loyalty is a big thing with us, obviously, and just different stuff like that. But what would you say is kind of your top 2 or 3 things you might want to say to a kid stepping into this?
Okay, I think the big thing, like I said, I hit earlier, student athletes. Be a student athlete, right? People just think it's not just one-sided, right? It's not just what you can do on the court, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's what you can do in the classroom. Right, when you do that classroom and you can do it on the court, that's a crazy combination, boy, because it shows you your IQ level, everything, right? So student athletes, become a student athlete, right? That's important. I like to say this because this is our foundation we started, is more than basketball. You're more than basketball. So if you understand that you're more than basketball, then being a student athlete is easy.
Yeah.
Right. Because people don't really, we don't talk about that, right? It's like, hey, again, like we talked about, use basketball as a conduit, right? Use basketball as a conduit. That's it, right? Whatever shakes out from there, shakes out. You know what I'm saying? Simple, right? And deal with adversity the right way.
Yeah.
How do you deal with adversity? Because I'm telling you, the ball, Chris, this bad boy flat. The ball going to stop bouncing in some capacity.
Yeah, that's true.
It's going to stop bouncing in some capacity for you as an individual. Now, it can come back for, you and like me and coach and do these things. Right. But when it comes to us just actually out there hooping, right, we city league guys.
Yeah. Men's league. Men's league all-star.
You know what I'm saying? And so understand that you're going to have to either work for yourself or work for someone. Mm-hmm. Right? You're going to have to deal with adversity. Not just, we ain't just talking about in the work, but in your relationship with children, your wife, your mom. So if you can deal with that shit now, you got a young man or young woman, you got a chance to make it.
Right.
If you can deal with adversity now, right? Okay, yeah, you're not getting playing time. Why is that, little Johnny?
Yeah.
Why is that? Are you better than? Be real. Are you better than that guy? Right? Are you putting in the work that you need to do? Right? So you know what I'm saying. So those will be my 3.
Okay.
Right. Student athlete. you're more than basketball or more than whatever sport. That could be lacrosse, field hockey, ultimate frisbee.
Right.
Right. You're more than that, right? Use it as a conduit. But that's not who you are. That's not who you are. It's just a part of your journey.
Mm-hmm.
Just a chapter in your life, right? And how do we deal with adversity? Because those are the people that's going to make it. How many no's did you get?
What?
How many no's have you just got in your life?
Shit, plenty.
A lot.
Clearly.
That's adversity.
Clearly.
So look where you're at.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of no's, right? A lot of damn no's, but look where I'm at. Because it's like, oh, okay, yeah. No, I'm going to use that as fuel. I'm going to use that as motivation, right? I'm going to work harder, right? I'm going to grind. And then we in a room with the Black Panther on the table.
Talking shit.
Yeah, with my man with the afro.
Right.
With the Zulu Warrior. Zulu Warrior with the fro over there looking at me.
Exactly how it is, man. So let's get to hot takes. So, West Coast Takeover, shout out to them and DeMario Belk. He had a tournament over at Hardwood Palace. Two sponsors of mine also. Hardwood Palace, looking for good AAU tournaments, consistent AAU tournaments, hit them up. Link be in the description. Also, West Coast Takeover, looking for Sacramento-based tournaments with pretty good high-level teams coming through. Hit up DeMario Belk. Let them know about that life sent you. So, we just played this weekend. I played with my 4th and 5th grade. This was their first kind of taste of a high-level event. And, yeah, that's the youngest group I've ever coached. That's the thing I've, put out there. DeMario put us in the wrong division, so I was a little pissed about that. So now we're supposed to be in 11U.
Okay.
He put us in 10U.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, what the fuck? Because, because some parents are feeling, hey, he had kids in 6th grade. And first off, they're not in 6th grade. They're 5th graders. We just play them up. Yeah. Right? Yeah. But then, two, DeMario put us in the wrong division. What do you want me to tell you? I didn't know he freaking did that shit. Like,
he got some inside. Chris like, I don't know, but he got some inside.
Nah, fuck that. I was like, man. But then, but kind of where it regulated out is we played in the championship against Arsenal against KP's team, and he had some of his 11U guys there, and I was like, put him on there, like fuck it, like, cause he was like, man, he said the kid just said it. I said KP. I said I didn't choose the bracket. DeMario put me in the bracket. Mm-hmm. Do you want me to walk away and not play? Like, so I said, put your 11U guys in. So he put some of his 11U guys in, and they beat us. This was my team's first taste of dealing with, some Bay Area teams and some ethnicity. As their first time dealing with some ethnicity. And this weekend you could definitely feel it was culturally different. Let's just say what it is, a lot more. You had the Oakland Soldiers there. You had a team from Utah. You had a team from
Utah.
Texas. Yeah.
Talking about culture, and you say Utah.
No. I'm just talking about people from out of town.
I'm trying to track with you.
No, we had plenty of those. We had plenty. You had the Yellow Jackets from South Sac. You had. You had a Team Rampage from Vallejo. I mean, you had Arsenal, which is from, they pull kids from all over the Bay. I mean, but you had some brothers. You had a lot of, and I've said this on previous shows, and I'm just going to say it again. People could, feel any type of way they do about it, but, it's about that life, so I keep things very honest and candid. This game is predominantly black, and it just is what it is. Ask your kid who their top 5 players are. More than likely, they're going to be at least 3 or 4 of them going to be black. So,
Luka,
right. So, now it might be Luka. That's about it. But I'm like, the area I'm in. Yeah, got good kids, good families. Right,
couple bathrooms,
2
to 3 bathroom kids.
Right. Good kids.
Looking at one.
We got and they mainly have played hardwood and courtside, and courtsides even get some good talent, but hardwood is very big credit to hardwood because they're very consistent and they pump out their product and. Hardwood's focus isn't necessarily about getting the most talented teams. They just want good, consistent teams that are going to show up, play good basketball, cause no issue, go home, and pay their fees. Right. My team still made it to the championship, and we had to play some tough teams to get there, and we made it all the way through. And I'm really happy and proud of them for that. But they learned some lessons because again, some of them kids on that Arsenal team were like in 2nd grade, 3rd grade, but they just play tough, like KP always has his kids in the gym. You look at his social media. So with all that being said, my hot take is, you know, I know you're in Portland and you deal with, you know, white kids. And I'm out here in Rockland and I deal with white kids or Indian kids and just people that don't necessarily understand the culture. And let me make that very clear for you guys listening and watching. It's not a black or white thing that, oh, black kids are just going to be better athletes. That's all bullshit. What I'm saying is there is a cultural difference in the areas most of these black kids come from, and it makes them hungrier because we experienced it as black men, you know, as young black kids ourselves. Growing, you know, I was in West Oakland. You've seen my fucking neighborhood. It's I
didn't even want to get out the car.
Exactly.
Come get me. We got T-Bone in them outside.
Right. So
hey, sit down, man. Sit on down, man.
He want to start, dude. He want to start, bro.
Grab if you gonna grab two. Grab two or
why don't you grab like 5 of them or something?
Okay, that's it. How many you got?
Just one.
All right, that's it. No more.
And so, like, you know, the cultural difference. And what I say to my kids, I say, listen, some of these kids might be doing it because this is all they got. This is all their, you know, this is the thing that brings them joy. I say, it doesn't have to be that way for you. You don't have to do this to feel like I got to get out the suburbs or anything. No, but you got to find something that makes you love the game that way. I'm just saying, have you kind of had some of those conversations with some of your kids, or how, you know, with the different cultures and dealing with it and kind of knowing? We come from a place of knowing. These kids come from a place of like they're learning.
That's why we don't have the luxury. So like you guys, you can play, you know, pretty much locally, right? And still get that feel. Right. You know, you can go up to the Bay.
You can go to Oakland.
You can like do all these things. And even in Sacramento, you guys can have, because it's still a melting pot. So you're going to still get that, right? You got a strong culture, black culture and everything else. In Portland, we just don't have it. Right. We just don't have it like that. And that's not mean we don't have a black culture in some facets.
Right. But it's not.
We just don't have it. Right. And so we got to go out the region all the time. So that was one thing, like Nate, and, you know, Ryan, we go out the region. You know, we go to Texas, Atlanta, Kansas,
right?
Blackatize.
Exactly.
I'm like, damn, man, you know, sometimes it's just too much. Right. You know, it's
like being
I want y'all to eat some ribs.
It's like being at the BET Awards.
I'm like, damn, this shit is too much for me. When I went to Kansas. We went to KC. We went to what's that, man? That barbecue spot, man. That Nate be loving. I'm like, hey, man, my man cussing me out because I don't know what I want. I said, well, shit, this too much culture for me. I got too much freckles to be up here. Let me get out of here, man. I know my guys, some of these dudes uncomfortable. Right. But so we do take pride in trying to get, or we don't have the luxury of staying and playing at, you know, a hardwood and know we can get a good showing, you know, and a good group of teams that come there. We got to get up out of there.
Yeah.
So we going to LA. We coming out here to the Bay. Right. We going to Texas and Atlanta's and Kansas, man. Where were you? Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Like, so we are forcing that and pushing that because it's important to us as well. As a director staff, that's important to us.
Okay.
Now, is it getting expensive? See, that's expensive ass culture.
Right.
But it's important to us. And so that's what, you know, we have tried to do. But it is a culture shock for some of our guys. Even the kids from Portland that come from a black household. But as you know, a Portland black household is a lot different from a Bay Area or a Sacramento household or a Atlanta or a Texas.
Very true.
Right? Because it's more black culture or more culturalized, right? Is what I would say. So we see the culture shock every time. And that's why we like to go out the region so these kids can be able to see that. And I know, you know, from a business standpoint, because, you know, I'm more of the business of International Elite as well too, is that, man, I know y'all want to get some of this culture in, but
there's a budget to this culture.
It's a budget to this culture, man. Can we go 2, you know?
Right.
Can we blackatize them 2 times instead of 8? 8 out of 10? So y'all see it.
I mean, You do it, but are you like me? Because like I'm of the sound mind that it's it's necessary. You have to do it
absolutely
to expose some of these kids.
Absolutely,
I think. Think back to the NBA bubble before, and I'll mention this before we move on to the NBA stuff. With the Lakers, or no, it wasn't the Lakers. It was the Clippers. Montrezl Harrell was the Clippers at the time. Remember, it was a little bit of a scandal because he called Luka a punk ass white boy or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And they were like, of course, the media kind of magnified it and made, he's racist, this racial thing. It's like, but we understand in basketball culture, like, that's just shit that gets said. And what was really cool, I listened to JJ Redick's podcast. He has his own podcast with Kevin Love, and they talked about it. And as white basketball, and he said, have you ever played like a punk ass white boy? That's what Kevin Love said to JJ Redick, and they had another guest. Yeah. And Kevin Love was like, and these brothers called my shit out, and I absolutely was playing like a punk ass white boy. But you could tell through the camaraderie and they understood the culture. Yeah. Right, because you can tell a JJ Redick or a Kevin Love been playing against brothers their whole life. So
and they was elitists.
Yeah,
they was at a point in time they were elitists on their level, and to be elitist from a white guy in basketball, you had to go through some college. Yeah. You can't hide. You can't just play against all white guys to be elitist.
No.
You gotta go in Texas and Atlanta.
I tell people, circle back. Larry Bird is notoriously known for, he used to say, I want to go play with the black guys. He said that, I want to go play against the brothers.
Larry Bird, man, I saw this one interview. He thought, man, when they had the white dude guard him, he told somebody, was like, that's disrespectful for you to even have a white dude guard him. Like, that shit is
and that's
real.
Larry Bird, like,
I'm like, that's some real ass shit right there. But yeah, man, it's like this. I think, they did take it, but it's part, when you have, it's our culture.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's there's an understanding. And of course, the other argument, well, what if he said that to, him and he's black? And I'm like, okay, let's be real. There's double standards. Yeah. And things aren't equal always in life. And yes, in basketball culture, and in basketball culture, no, everything's not equal. Yeah, you know what I mean.
And you're talking about a small. If you really look at it and you break it down, it's a small snippet, right, of maybe a little sense of like inequality. Yeah, a small snippet of okay, well, welcome to a life of a man of color, all the time. Right, and these are the barriers that we're breaking down all the time. So. And obviously like a JJ and a Kevin Love are able to, they have adapted to. Yeah.
Because it was just really fascinating, cool for me to hear it because I was at work at UPS, listening. And they were just laughing about it. Like, because even they said, I play like a punk ass white boy. And my teammate called me, they called me out on it. And I was like, man, fuck that. I ain't letting that happen again. But they didn't take it racially. You know what I mean? It's just, it was, with, the reason I bring it up is because we're both kind of in that same boat. We were in the kind of these suburban, good areas with great kids. So let me make that very clear. I have great kids, great families. You've seen the kids. And my kids compete hard. Like
y'all everywhere you put your team anywhere, man, they compete.
Like, so it's, we always get to the chip. You know what I mean? Like, I very rarely do my teams not make it all the way to the chip. Will we always win? No. Yeah. But we always get there, and we go through some shit to get there. But what I'm saying is, like, for my non-black or my non-black kids, whether, they're Indian or Hispanic or I tell them, like, listen, I love you to death. I don't give a fuck about your race, but I'm going to make it very clear to you, it is something you're going to have to work through. And you're going to have to adopt some of this. You're going to adopt some of this culture. You know what I mean? It's just going to happen because you're around it.
It's inevitable. If you want to have some sense of success in this game of basketball, you got to get with it. Yeah. Because I'm going to tell you right now, brothers ain't stopping hooping. There's a kid right now in New York. It's probably snowing, and he's out there saying word to your mother. Right. He's hitting jump shots and and bouncing that ball. So it's not going nowhere. Right. Right. I've obviously, even if you go to Europe, even when I was out there, You see all these Army bases. I don't know why the hell the Army is still out there
Right.
in Germany, catting off, mixing up all the babies. But you're starting to see there's still a strong black culture. You know, if you know Nigerians, they everywhere.
Right.
They go to anywhere. And Nigerians everywhere.
Yeah, right.
Like, damn, how y'all get out there speaking fluently? Them Nigerians, boy, resilient. Resilient.
Exactly.
But it's like the culture ain't changing. And as you can see, you seeing in the Nigerian culture, you seeing the influx of them in the NBA.
Yeah.
Right? So to think about it, like the hoop, like
It's
Africa,
a worldwide sport,
it's
man.
worldwide. So the culture,
Yeah.
it ain't gonna change. Like it's way more, it's reaching so many people. So either you're gonna have to adapt or you're just not going to make it in that level that you think you want to, right? You know what I'm saying? And there's teams that, you know, you can go to, right? But it's like, again, I think from Kevin Love, you know, knowing he's from Portland as well too, you know, understanding that to be where he was at, man, it was still, he had to go through some stuff.
You
right?
know he
had
did.
And JJ the same, man. I'm saying these dudes was elitists in high school and college basketball players, right? And good NBA players. Right? Good NBA players.
Yeah.
At one point, Kevin Love was a great NBA player, but good NBA player. So you can't play the time that they've played and accomplish what they've accomplished without adapting the culture.
Right.
In some capacity.
Yep. Totally agree.
You see what I'm saying? So
yeah. So I just thought that was a good
great
thing to talk about for
segue.
us. And then so let's talk NBA. So let's talk about some of the few current events with that. Steph Curry is amazing this year. As Reed saw, you know, watched a little tape yesterday. Man, I mean, this dude is just on pace to.
You just don't appreciate. I mean, you just got to appreciate greatness, man.
Yeah, man.
It's just like, man, just to be able to see somebody in this level.
Yeah, the 6'2", 180 light skinned guy.
That's crazy, man.
with a flamethrower.
Good father,
right?
Good husband,
right?
Man, I'm just like, dude, this dude ain't real.
Yeah, right?
We really look at like for him and like even LeBron, you'd be like, man, what's going on?
Yeah, right. Like you looking for something.
That's messed up. Like, man, there's got to be some scandal.
You just you just waiting for it, bro. But bro,
I hat off to Curry, man. Big fan. I ain't even a Warriors
Look,
fan.
man, like I said, I never knew in my lifetime the Warriors would. Like I was happy with our small set because you know I'm from Run TMC. I'm that old. Like I was happy when we had
Richmond.
Exactly. Chris Mullen. I was happy when we had our little, our dynasty years with what was that 2015, 2016. You know, I was like,
believe.
Yeah, I was like, because Matt Barnes, Steven Jackson, Baron Davis, Montel, they gave us that little bit of life,
man.
And I was like, oh, we on a. Okay, and then
hood team. Too.
Yeah, that was a hood ass team. shout out to Matt Barnes, man. One day I hope you come on the show, bro.
Matt Barnes and Action Jackson.
Right.
You know what you was getting with them.
Yeah, Al Harrington.
Yeah. We putting something in the air after the
game. And then to go from that, and then to have our time to shine.
Yeah.
And then of course with Klay Thompson getting hurt, KD leaving.
Yeah.
Steph got hurt. Then the last year, Steph wasn't hurt, and everyone's like, he can't carry a team, and all the adversity he dealt with.
Yeah.
And now it's just we have so much new life, bro.
Oh man, it's crazy. First of all, it's always good to shout out somebody who's light-skinned.
Exactly. Make us look good, right?
Yeah, I've always, for some reason, side with the light skin. So I always want to support, him, Chris Brown, even when he went through his shit.
Right.
Chris Brown gonna be all right.
Drake doing his thing.
Drake, Drake. Right. Come on, man, you got to. That's automatic. So you ain't gotta say nothing. I don't care about the threes. Just that you light skinned out there doing your thing. Thank you.
And then Klay Thompson.
Klay, man, who gives a young mixed kid, like my young mixed baby, like my son, gives him hope. Something to look at.
And then, it's funny because the Warriors. Huh? Oh, okay. You got it? I'll give it that.
Davis, man, they call me for work already.
Say when you getting your ass back.
Yeah, I ain't picking that up.
We no, I mean, look at the Warriors lineup. I mean, you got Gary Payton II, light skin.
Yes.
Jordan Poole, light skin.
Yes, sir.
We just holding it down right now.
Y'all doing it. Y'all doing what
The
y'all
Golden
gotta
State
do.
light skins out
Y'all
here.
doing what y'all got to do in Golden State.
And then we got our dark skinned thug, who's essentially our point guard, Draymond Green.
Yeah. You always got to have a good black Air Force One type of
Exactly. That Air Force One energy.
Yeah, you got to have some. You
Right.
know, he's probably cleaning his forces as we speak.
Exactly.
Hey, we're like, damn, you cleaning your black forces? I'm cleaning my black forces.
Yeah, exactly. So,
All right.
so we in a good spot, man. But from the Warriors, obviously, one of the next biggest talks in town, LeBron and this Lakers show.
Yeah.
That's your team.
That's my team.
And man,
Whew.
it's been a roller coaster so far.
Yeah, man. You know, it's one of those deals where you hope it works out. But again, you know, when you got the old heads, you know, now in 2012, you know what I'm saying?
That would have been
Oh yeah, you know, that's it right there. But yeah, right now you got to make sure, and it does make a difference. You know, it's like, you know, because LeBron is a Tom Brady type dude, just instant oatmeal, just add water.
Yeah.
Right. So him not being out there does make a big difference. You know what you're gonna get with Russ, but it's like, again, it's still LeBron's team.
Yes. Absolutely.
Right. You know, y'all can say whatever y'all want. Yeah, he's an OG in the game, but he makes a huge difference.
And Carmelo Anthony finding new life. I mean, man. What a comeback for him.
Yeah, man. That was good. You know, me being in Portland to be able to see him, because, you know, I'm a big Dame Lillard fan. Big Dame Lillard fan. You know, not a huge Portland fan, but I just love seeing Dame have success. So to be able to see that relationship over the years, man, and CJ too, man. I like CJ McCollum.
Yeah.
You know, he's just good dudes, man.
Right.
They actually good peoples, right? So. But to see Melo get that life in Portland, man, that was a dope experience to see. I mean, I was like, man, let me go to a game. Let me see Melo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so it is good to see him get that life and get that opportunity, because, you know, he was blackballed and, you know, got that bad boy rep for some odd reason.
Yeah.
And I was telling the story what David Stern told him.
Yeah.
It was like, hey, dude, do you want to be a thug or you want to be a basketball player, essentially?
Right.
And he said that changed him.
Yeah.
I saw that interview the other day, and I was like, man, that's crazy.
That's how it is, bro.
That's why I'm like, so it's like, you know, it was good to see that journey and see the life that he's got for the Lakers. I mean, he's playing a prominent role.
Yeah, he is. He's
You
one
know,
of their best.
playing-
This year he's one of the best catch and shoot guys
Yeah.
in the league.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he's and it keeps growing from there. But I mean, they obviously have the building blocks. Everyone's talking about. I'm looking forward to this game on Phoenix versus the Warriors, because everyone's like, because the Phoenix right now are on an 11-game winning streak.
Yeah, they rolling.
Where everyone's like, they're anxious to see that game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
They
okay, these are the two powerhouse teams. Like, let's really see what they do. So that'd be fun to watch. I think the Bulls, again, I've said it numerous times on the show, but I think the Bulls are really fun to watch. I think they're kind of
They're the real deal.
The Eastern Conference version of the Warriors. You know what I mean? Like, they just play with great energy and just they have fun and enjoy each other. One segment we need to talk about, which again, it's kind of been trending out there, but Ben Simmons is apparently going broke.
That's what I heard.
Because he's living his extravagant lifestyle, but he's not playing games, which means he's not getting checks, and he's actually getting fined. I think the latest fine was $375,000.
Oh, they finding ways, ain't they?
So
the fine print in the contract.
yeah. I mean, and we talked about it yesterday, though, but it's like, obviously the way he's handling, I'm not a fan of it. It's your job. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, like, you have to do your job. I understand. But again, this is where we were talking about him. It's good we talk about it on the show. This is the byproduct of this bouncing around shit in AAU. This sense of entitlement, this sense of you're the man, and
tie it in.
And oh, I don't like what I'm hearing here from this coach.
Yeah.
I'm going to this club, or I don't like what I'm getting this.
Yeah.
I'm going to this. You know, this is we are fast forwarding into, because all these kids were AAU kids, all of them. All the high level NBA players were AAU kids.
They all was in that big A.
I want to say when we were younger and we were watching, those were the last generations of non AAU kids.
Like LeBron. I mean, LeBron and them played, but it was like, they were still. LeBron got his. He's 2003.
Yeah.
Right, so he got it from more camps.
Right.
And then the AAU, it was like, LeBron's going to play for the Soldiers.
Right,
Remember
right.
that?
Yeah.
I think he played for the Soldiers one time.
Yeah.
But it wasn't what it is now.
Right, exactly. And so now we fast forward in this younger generation, we see it now. This is unfortunately the Pandora's box reopened up. And I take, I shouldn't say because I personally don't take responsibility but I see it, and I am a part of this AU culture, so that's why I do include myself in it. This is what you get when you have all these AAU kids that say, "Oh, I don't like it here, Mom. I want to go here," or Dad don't like. Oh, you yelled at my son because he missed 5 layups. And he should be allowed to do that. Like, no, he shouldn't.
I paid my money.
Yeah, exactly. Like now you're seeing it at the professional level. And Philly, I know you guys are pissed. I know you probably drugging that man every day. I know
that's
he
just
don't
the
walk
wrong spot. We talked about it, but that's the wrong spot to take this stance.
Yeah.
The brotherly love, the city of brotherly love.
And they
ain't got no brotherly love.
Yeah, and they got some thugs out there. Like
they got some real man.
Keep in mind, that's where AI built his name. I mean,
man, that's why he was comfortable.
Yeah,
because AI was in them streets.
Exactly.
Shooting dice.
He ain't built like that, man.
No, wholesome, 50
from New Zealand,
Australian. Yeah, good kid. 2 or 3 bathrooms.
Yeah.
He
ain't built like that, man.
Nah, it's look, man. And I agree. I've always been a Ben Simmons fan and still am, but okay. There's a point where you have to take accountability for yourself. Right? Yeah, hey, the fans get to be mad because we're paying you all this money.
Yeah. And
we're supporting. We gave you everything you wanted.
And please still try to keep in mind for the people that understand, because obviously this show, my show, more or less caters to what's up, Michaela? Why did I say Michaela?
Well, you got to use the bathroom.
Right. You got to use the bathroom. Okay. Here, go out the door real quick. Don't bump the camera.
First Paul here. Give me the phone.
There, you're fine. Got it.
Turn that thing. Yep. You about to bump the camera.
There you go. You got it? Okay. There you go. Go ahead, close the door. Good job. Okay. So, no, what I'm saying is, sorry if I lost my train of thought, y'all. But no, with this entitlement, that's where I was getting to.
Yeah.
With this entitlement, you're now seeing that byproduct, and parents, if we don't start actively trying to fix this, it's just going to keep snowballing and getting out of control. You know what I mean? And this is the biggest thing, dude. You're getting paid millions of dollars, and we're still living in a pandemic. I mean, of course the country's opened up, the vaccines, all that. I'm not going to get into all that. But I heard there's another variant right now of COVID. I forgot the name of it. I saw it on the news. It just seems very. It seems very like you're very ignorant to the world in which is going on right now. And I get it. Celebrities and millionaires kind of live that way, but you're very disconnected that people are still fighting for employment. There's still people fighting for housing. There's still the rent crisis. I mean, there's a lot of shit going on, period. There's some good, there's some bad, there's some people like me and you've been lucky enough to maneuver and keep going, and I count my blessings every day for that shit.
God bless us.
Right?
God is good.
But I can recognize around me the people that are still struggling.
Absolutely.
The people that, and you are 20 times above all that shit. And because you don't want to play, and now you going broke because you want to live an extravagant lifestyle, like
Yeah, and I guess I mean, and you gotta say it could be speculations too.
Yeah, it could be.
Right, and
I hope it's not true.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, he's got a lot of money, right? He's been successful. So, but if you just do sheer numbers, if you're still living the same lifestyle and you don't have the same money coming in, revenue stream coming in, you can equal that to someone going broke. Right?
Yes.
So understand it, right?
Right.
My biggest thing is, like now, which is one of the big conversations, pay me, I want to be paid what I'm worth, right? I want to be, because we always been underpaid and stuff like that, right? And then you have a young man who's completely getting compensated for his value, for what he's worth. Mm-hmm. And he's like, yeah, that's still not enough, right? And that shows you that goes really into entitlement at that point.
Yeah.
That's what I can't mess with.
Right.
I struggle with that, right? Somebody's saying, you know what, look, I got to hold out because I got to get paid this, right? I know what I can do. I've calculated the numbers. I know what I bring into the stands and boom, 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 boom. I can make this money back, the return of your investment, in a matter of.
Go ahead, close the door and take a seat. Got it? Okay.
Yeah, I can return this investment in a matter of this amount of time, right? So Ben Simmons is completely getting compensated for what he what it's worth, right?
Yeah.
And so
got a max deal, super max.
Yeah, and so at that point, the accountability, and then which one thing we can't really prove, I guess, as much, is when everybody's kind of going into the mental health, right? And so like, okay, what a coincidence.
But what they said was on the segments and the research that I saw, the team tried to provide him with a therapist. Mm-hmm. He said no. Mm-hmm. And now that he's going broke, now all of a sudden he's like, okay, I'll take that therapist. And it's like, you know what I mean? It looks very odd.
Yeah, it's a lot. And, for me, just in, from a work standpoint, for me, I think the mental aspect is very important. I think you should get the mental breaks. Depression is a real thing. Mental disorder is a real thing, right? Man, don't play with that.
Yeah, for real.
Don't play with that.
The timing of it again is just very.
Now, and I'm not saying, everybody, I'm not trying to be insensitive, but it's, we are very trendy people, right? We get real trendy. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, okay, you got the Jabos on.
Right.
I'm going back to the Jabos.
Yeah.
I like the Jabos, right?
Or the clear Air Force Ones.
Clear, woo. Feet was hot. Seeing smoke coming off people's toes with the clear Jabos. I'm glad those went away.
Me too.
But so we and we're trendy, and we're in this instant gratification, instant information based off, and whatever I'm seeing, I intake it, and then I can regurgitate these things. Quick.
Right.
Hey, now I'm a doctor.
Right.
I'm a scientist. I'm a comedian now because I can, that's what they said do. I looked on YouTube and it said how to be a comedian. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm that.
Yeah. And so I just hope that's not what it is, because right now it's easy to say these things, right? Because it's not a really is it? We don't know.
It's not measurable.
Yeah, it's not. And it's frowned upon to even challenge it.
Yeah.
In this climate.
Yes.
So he's like, gotcha.
Yeah.
Hey, say this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like that could be real. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not taking
all
it
allegedly.
Yeah, I'm not taking it lightly if the young man is going through that, right? But again, what a coincidence type deal. And I'm like, come on, what is it, man? Or really? If this was really going on, let's really get to it. Let's really talk about, hey, I want you to come in here and let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Right? Talk about the pressures and the stress that is taking you, right, to shoot these shots, to make the right plays, and to be one of the most sought after players in the country, right? That has led you to this. Let's talk about these things, because we need that. We need that information. There's another young man that might be struggling with that same pressure. You know what I'm saying? Let's be real with it.
Yeah.
Let's be real with it.
No, I agree, bro.
Not just when it's convenient.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so, that's where, that's my take on Ben Simmons. And Ben Simmons come on, the podcast, and Talk to us.
Yeah, right. That'd be great, right?
Come on to Rockland and talk to us.
Well, couple quick things for that's my last question, then we're out of here. Just some quick news. Zion Williams cleared to play. Cleared to practice, I should say. Cleared to practice.
Gotta share some of them LBs, Zion.
He definitely does. Mark Vogel, I heard, obviously the front office isn't necessarily happy with, obviously the coach is always the easiest to blame, so they're not happy with that situation. Trying to think of what other major storylines I was checking out. I think that's it. I think I saw some segment saying Kawhi Leonard's on pace to be doing good.
I don't even know. I'm so used to Kawhi. Something going on with him.
Exactly. So
it's like, man, we see you when we see you. Right. Deal.
So we'll see. And Klay Thompson.
That's good. I'm ready for Klay.
That was
man.
huge. That was huge.
I'm ready for Klay to hoop.
They showed like him the last win they had, which what was it against? I can't remember, but he was sitting on the sideline and the stadium was like closing, so he was just sitting there like for how long. And Steve Kerr talked about it, how he really wears his heart on his sleeve in terms of for the game, and he just really wants to get back out there. It's been a dark 2 years for him. You know what I'm saying?
I want to, and if someone like Klay came out and said he's dealing with a lot of depression and mental disorders, I can receive it.
Yeah, because he's been out for 2 years.
Understand it. Understand it. Logic. All that lines up, right? It makes sense, right? So it's like, but I'm excited for Klay, man. I'm excited to see Klay. I'm very curious on his return, just following Klay since he's been in, probably a little bit of high school because, his family, he got family in Portland. Yeah. So some of my boys is real close to the Thompson family. So, yeah, man. So it'd just be good to just see him back out there again. Well, so shout out to Klay, man. Get healthy, man. It's just you got a lot of people waiting and pushing for you, man.
Yeah, man. And so last question for you before we get out of here. Circling it back, bringing it back to AAU, things like that. So we know the reclassifying thing is heavy. It's really huge right now. I was just curious your take on it.
Man, look, let me tell you what y'all got to do. Go ahead and just, pre-K twice, let them rock. That's it. Right. It's simple, man. Right. Look, if you're looking at all you ex-athletes, dudes who got dusty sneakers in the back of their trunk, some Hirachis, some pro models. All you dudes, who got kids, look, just have them do pre-K twice. Right. Let it rock. Don't play all these games.
Right. Man. What about this, right? What about pre-K twice and then like one middle school year again?
Nah, we're not doing that, man. Look.
You don't want a 17-year-old freshman?
He's 21. If you're getting black and milds in high school, if you could almost get go to the liquor store in high school, man. If
you drive into the school,
I'm not a fan of it. I'm just not a fan of it. Obviously as a AAU director and a coach, there is some benefits. To having a man out there. But nah, man, it's like I'm not a huge fan of the reclassifying, right? Let it rock, because I think it's just too much gray area, and it's really not about the kids as much. Most of the time, it's about them trying to get the upper hand and the advantage. Right. All the time. Look, guess what? When you go to college, guess what you can do? You can red shirt, Chris.
Right.
You can gray shirt.
Gray shirt, exactly.
These are things that help you and say, hey, my body's not developed, but okay, if you can hoop, you can hoop. Yeah. Right? You know what I'm saying? Now I get like the summer babies and stuff like that, and maybe like yeah. But it's like, hey, if they can hoop, they can hoop, right?
At some point, you got to prove you can get out there and do it.
Yeah, I mean, at some point you have to, right? Yeah. And so everybody wants this upper hand, and I'm just not a big fan of it.
Me either. And I'm big. I'm big, and we have this conversation all the time. I'm big on not taking reclassifieds. I've had, dude, like being at the position I'm in, and the fact, because like with you guys, you know, you're just dealing with the high school. You know, there's literally, and I'm in our club.
Yeah.
We could, like, let's say my fourth graders right now. Some of my I could literally have them for the next 7 years. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna be with me a long time. And so, because we're kind of a unique AAU club in the sense we could start from you when you first start playing basketball till you are graduated high school,
which is cool.
We do deal with a lot of people trying to say to us, like, man, hey, I got my son, you know, he's in 7th grade, but we reclassed him like 3 times, and you know, and of course, it'd be easy to take that kid and dominate and look amazing, but you guys as coaches in AAU clubs, you have to ask, what's your purpose, man? Like, the purpose should be development. I always say the purpose development, the goal is to win. Yeah. And of course, when you get to high school, it kind of flips around. There's elements of development, but it's not the main thing, right? Because you're trying to push these kids out and give them a shot. Yeah. The reclassing, I'm not a huge fan of it either, man. I'm just not.
I can't really rock with it. Like I said, you know, I think, you know, let the chips shake out how they shake out, right? You know, and there are like legit reasons that people do it, right? And so I'm not taking that away.
It's just when it gets excessive. I think 1 year's fine, but you know what I'm saying.
Come on, man.
Remember when Portland that first year with Keandre's group and the team we played with Poe and
I mean, me and you were supposed to play that.
Yeah,
you know, you seeing those kids? Okay, we gotta look. Let me go get the Hirachis out. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You got the pro models,
right?
We got to hoop.
We're
like,
playing,
this is some grown man.
Yeah, we're playing damn JC team.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, if we're gonna do that, everybody on that team better be some type of D1 stud. But if you're doing all that for you to go and not play hoop, and you going to JUCO or whatever, or you ain't even playing no more, come on, man. What is it? What's it really for? Oh, you won an 8th grade trophy.
Yeah, you won an 8th grade national championship. That's great.
Yeah,
no kudos to you, but I guarantee you by your junior year, no one gives a fuck.
Yeah, well, you know, you're a phenom right now, and then now guess what? Everybody, Webb went from 5'6" his sophomore year to 6'2",
right?
Junior year,
right?
6'3.5",
right?
Senior year, 6'4", 6'5". Now you're dealing with a 6'5.5", 6'6" point guard, point forward, type dude,
and they don't. And that's always the biggest thing,
you know,
too.
Let it shake out like it shook out.
I always worry when I see kids that hit growth spurts too fast. You know what I mean? I prefer kind of the tall, lanky, uncoordinated kid because I know
their parents.
Yeah,
that's what I said. Look at their parents, man. It's like, okay, you know, then, you know, if the parents ain't enough, let me see your grandpa and grandma.
You know my team with Muhammad and those guys you saw. Like, you know, I got a few kids there. It's like,
what's the one lanky? What's the one lanky one?
Jacob. Jacob Butler. Dad 6'9", mom 6'3".
Hey, young man. You know, you gonna talk. Hey, how's it going?
Right,
Mr. Stewart. You okay?
Y'all keep that name in mind, man. Jacob Butler is
hey, Mr. Butler. You all right? How's Jacob doing? How's his family?
Yeah, he gonna be the next Chet. Yeah, he's gonna be at Gonzaga.
Yeah, like, you know, stuff like, you know, guys like that, man. You just gotta let them develop, you know, and let the chips fall how they fall, man. Like, you know, at the end of the day, you just got to, man, because it's gonna catch up in some type of way. You know, everybody can't be 21 like OJ Mayo was in high school. I think you're like 20.
They talk about that's why Thon Maker hasn't developed it. They think, you know, he lied about his age, and he's
absolutely. I know they did. Boy, you don't know. You go to the tournaments, you see some of them big programs. You see some of them Nigerians.
Yeah, you like, like there's no way.
Yeah, it's like everybody was born in January.
Yeah, they don't know English. Some of them only know French.
On, man. What's going on here?
It's like,
we don't know.
Right. They bring a birth certificate written in crayon and shit.
Yeah,
like,
we gotta stop this.
Like,
man.
Come on, bro.
Yeah, we gotta stop this, dude. Yeah.
Well, I want to say I appreciate you being on the show, man. It was great to have you. Yeah. Shout out to my co-host Mark. I know he's out doing a family thing, so he'll be here soon.
Gotta do that family stuff, Mark.
Yep. And then KP will be on my next show on Thursday, but obviously we push these episodes out on Sunday, so catch him for that next episode. Just This is a good episode. We're on episode 33.
Yeah.
Right? That's Scottie Pippen's old number.
Okay,
right?
that's Scottie.
Yeah, Scottie, and Scottie going fucking crazy right now. I'm
Going
going to talk
crazy.
about that one episode. Like,
Long nose like Scotty. Heard that in a rap battle.
right? But no, I appreciate you doing this, Web, man.
Yeah, man, it's love, man. It's love.
Shout out to the families
Yes,
who
sir.
catch this when this episode comes out. Please go ahead, share it, hit that like, subscribe. My Patreon members, thank you for the support. The money that you send really helps out. Even if you subscribe and you check it out, do $1 a month. That $1 a month goes a long way to helping with this production cost. I want to keep bringing you guys good stuff. Shout out to my camera guy, Joe. He's doing an
Shout out
amazing
to
job,
Joe,
man.
man.
He's doing an amazing
Hell
job.
of a
And then my little nephew here, he's doing good. You gonna say hi or anything? Say hi? No, you gotta say hi.
Say hi.
Okay, we can
They
barely
can't hear you.
Yeah, but no. Appreciate you being here, Web, man.
Yeah, man, it's love, man.
Well, definitely keep in mind, I'll have links to his IG. Check him out, follow his story. Obviously, if this episode catches out in Portland, maybe some guys can come check you out or hear it and hear your story. Biggest thing, be safe out there. Obviously, COVID's still a thing, so protect yourselves from that. Enjoy your day, enjoy your families. Christmas is coming. Looking forward to that. This is our Christmas without COVID.
Christmas without COVID.
Yeah, so you guys be safe out there, and we are out.
We out.